patients commonly ask me, okay, what exercise should I be doing, for your shoulder? This can be in the post-op period, or if you just come in with a strained cuff or what we call impingement. And my kind of standard answer is, it's really good to go see a therapist and let a therapist go through a program with you and kind of make sure you're doing it properly. But in today's world, a lot of folks, copays are massive. You go see a therapist, it costs you $75, and a lot of folks don't want to do that. And I get it. And I give you sheets and all this stuff, but I don't think, people will understand really how to do stuff unless you're truly demonstrated. So I'm just going to go through really it's a core of really 6 exercises for the shoulder. And the idea is you're really strengthening not just your cuff, but your deltoid, and then all the muscles that attach to your scapula. There's 17 muscles that attach to your scapula, your 4 rotator cuff muscles included. So kind of and you don't need fancy equipment. You can go to Target, you can go to Walmart, you can go to a fitness store and buy little bands like this, or little weights. And the weights you use for these exercises really are not that heavy, at least for the rotator cuff. Keep in mind, your rotator cuff is really a stabilizer. It's not a strength muscle. It's really designed to keep the ball in place. You get your strength from all your other muscles, and you can work those in other ways, which I'll show you a few of those too. But just in general, so if you get these, you can get these bands like this. There's different designs you can get. There's ones that come with here it is, a hook like this that you can put this in a doorway and kind of lock it in place. But this is the kind that I favor because it's very functional. All you need is an anchor point, and you can anchor it like this, or you can just kind of wrap it around something like this and hold on to both sides. And they all come color coded. Different companies are different, but this blue is a pretty heavy one, maybe even too heavy for me, so I'm not going to use this one. So I already have this one hooked up. So kind of just start. So the core exercises, number 1 is working on external rotation, and this strengthens the rotator cuff in the back. So it's your infraspinatus, teres minor, most notably. So you basically just start, you get enough tension on the thing, and you're just kind of pulling out. And this doesn't have to be, it shouldn't be hard. You're really focused on a repetition. And my general rule is 12 to 15 reps, 3 sets, 3 times a week. And alternating days, giving yourself a day of rest in between. So out. And you're focusing on both, not just pulling, but then letting it come back slow. And actually you build more strength on the coming back part, which is called the eccentric contraction, which means your muscle is contracting as it's lengthening. So out here. So you do 12 reps like this, okay? Or 12 to 15. Then the next step is working on internal rotation. So this strengthens your rotator cuff in the front, which is your subscapularis, which is probably the most important of all the cuff muscles. It's the biggest, has the largest tendon, and also the biggest consequences when it's injured. So the more you stay up with it and keep it strong, the better it'll function long term. So kind of the same idea, nice tension, you're pulling in, letting it go back out nice and slow. Okay, in, out nice and slow. And again, 12 to 15 reps, and you're not trying to knock them out. You're really focusing on nice, slow, fluid contraction, both holding it in and then letting it out. So you're working it in both directions, okay? Next thing that's really useful, again, these small dumbbells. So we've done that, the out and the in. So the next one is the supraspinatus, which is the one on top, most commonly torn, but also part of the infraspinatus does this as well, and that's elevation here. And your scapula sits on your chest wall kind of at an angle like this. So you want to be in the scapular plane when you do this. So you're out maybe 30 degrees. And as a general rule, I tell folks that if you can't see your hand when you're looking straight ahead, you're too far out. This is a very disadvantaged place for the rotator cuff. Cuff doesn't need to function out here. and you actually can cause impingement. So it's 30 degrees out. And there's also no reason to go much higher than shoulder height. You don't really need to go up. So just above shoulder height, like this. And again, these are 3-pound weights, and muscles are getting tired. So you don't need heavy weights, So you can maybe build up to 5 or 10, or if you're Superman, 15 or 20, but it doesn't have to be heavy. And again, up, nice and slow, down, nice and slow. So that's kind of generally your 4 rotator cuff exercises, or 3. Sorry. There's some more advanced ones that you can do. Let me pull this band off. If your cuff is nice and strong and you're not suffering from an injury, this is a good one to do, particularly if you're a tennis player, pickleball player, volleyball player, baseball player. But it's just a kind of a progression of working on your external rotators. So instead of just doing it out like this, you can take it up and out. So you kind of come down. Again, this band is not, so I'm going to change this like this. And again, so you're starting here and up and out. And again, same thing, nice and slow, both directions. This is not something I would want somebody to do early when they're recovering from a cuff repair, or even if you're recovering from injury. This is more of a maintenance one right here. Okay? So that's really more of an advanced one for people that are really trying to stay strong. Same can be done in the opposite direction, starting here going forward. But again, more advanced. So again, not when you're recovering from an injury, more of a maintenance thing. And then you want to work on your deltoids. And your deltoid has 3 heads: front, middle, and back. So this actually gets your supraspinatus, but also gets that anterior deltoid. So I don't like it out like this. So arm is bent, you kind of slightly bend forward so your elbows are in front, but just up like this. And this works at mostly the lateral deltoid. Okay? And then lastly, or not lastly, but in terms of the posterior cuff, but also posterior deltoid, this is called a row. So just pulling up here. Same thing, up slow, down slow. Up slow, down slow. And you can also do this with a band. You can tie a band down, or you can step on a band and pull up, but little dumbbells make things easier. The other one is just overhead press. Again, I like to get a bench. Again, I have this angled back, so when I do lay back to do this and I push up, it's actually in front of my face. It's not back here. This is also a bad place for shoulder, particularly if you're recovering from injury. So starting here, up. And again, you can see I'm rotating my hands as I go, because that's kind of the natural way your shoulders want to move. If you just go up like this, that actually is a little bit painful, even though my shoulder's not injured. So kind of here, up. Again, same thing, focused on up and down, both. 3 sets, 15. And you can do all these exercises 15 minutes. Does not take long. And I can promise you that if you maintain your shoulder, hopefully you never need surgery and you never get injured. But if you're recovering, you've got to keep doing them even after you're fully recovered. I see folks come back sometimes at 2-3 years and they stop doing their exercises and they kind of start hurting again. Their cuff's not torn, but their cuff is dysfunctional. So this is a maintenance program too. So hope that helps. There's certainly a bunch of other exercises that you can do, but these are kind of the basic ones that I really emphasize to patients. You can always email me if you have any questions or anything specific.